The Dodge Charger has pretty much had the same recipe since it debuted way back in 2005, and that is to have a four-door sedan with muscle car power. And the Dodge Charger has been in this generation since the 2011 model year. It's the second generation for the vehicle. And then Dodge updated the vehicle in the 2015 model year. They gave it more features and freshened up the exterior styling. Now our Charger we have here is the RT model, and it also comes with the Hemi V8 engine. And Dodge and Chrysler and Jeep are notorious for having very strong V8 engines with their Hemis. And here goes the key fob design for the vehicle. You have your unlock, your lock, your remote engine start, and to release your trunk, and then you have your panic alarm. And I love the styling of the Charger. I think it has some European flavor to it, but also it retains a very bold American look, which I love. Now this color of the Charger we have here is the Destroyer Gray. Kind of reminds me of a color that you'll find on a battleship or a fighter jet. You also do have smart key access on the driver's door and the front passenger door. And you do have a full-on black cloth interior. And your power driver seat controls are located right here. Power recline as well as power lumbar. Alright, now stepping on inside of the Charger here. It's an okay looking interior design. It's certainly starting to show its age a little bit. I love the Charger logo that they put on the dashboard here. That's pretty cool. And the Uconnect touchscreen has also been updated for the 2017 model year. It features faster response, and you have the availability of Apple CarPlay as well as Android Auto. But overall, it's not a bad looking interior. If you want a more luxurious look, I suggest checking out the Chrysler 300, which the Charger shares the same platform with the 300. Now you do have your push button ignition. Just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to start. And what you're hearing there is a big old brawny 5.7 liter Hemi V8. You also do have a full leather wrapped steering wheel. Coming to your transmission, 8-speed automatic here. And you do have manual shiftability, and you can shift via the paddle shifters too. When you put the vehicle into reverse, it'll display your rear view camera with guidance lines and trajectory. I love how Dodge went with a traditional kind of shifter now. They don't have the old shifter that you'll find in the old Jeep Grand Cherokees and the old Chrysler 300s. It's not the shifter that goes back to its original position. And you do have your headlights. Go and turn on those, and the hazards. Automatic driver's side window as well as front passenger window. Let's go ahead and check out the exterior of the Charger. Pop up the hood and check out the engine bay. Now the Charger is one of the fastest four-door sedans out there, especially in the Hellcat version, which packs in more than 700 horsepower. Now the Charger also shares many of the same powertrains with the Ram 1500, the Jeep Grand Cherokee, and the Chrysler 300, unsurprisingly. Coming up front, you have halogen projector beam headlights with LED daytime running lights, which look fantastic in the daytime. You also do have these LED fog lights too, and LED turn signal indicators. Now powering the Charger here is one of the available of the 3 V8 engines that you can go for. It's a 5.7 liter Hemi V8 that produces 370 horsepower at 5,250 RPM and 395 pound-feet of torque at 4,200 RPM, with EPA estimates being 16 in the city and 25 on the highway. Now your base powertrain on the Charger is going to be a 3.6 liter 6-cylinder engine that you can go for. You also find these two powertrains, the V8 and the V6, in the Jeep Grand Cherokee, Ram 1500, and the Chrysler 300. And on the Charger, you can also go for a more powerful 6.4 liter V8, and then there's a 6.2 liter V8 that you can get in the Hellcat model. So there's a variety of powertrains that you can get on the Charger. However, what you won't see is that there is no available fuel efficient option. There's no hybrid powertrain or anything like that. I mean, if you're looking for muscle car power, the Charger will certainly deliver. And the fuel economy estimates for this Hemi V8, it's not too shabby considering how much power it has. Now, competitors of the Charger, you have the vehicles in the full-size sedan class. However, the Charger has considerably more power than most vehicles in this class. But probably its most main direct competitor is the Chevrolet SS sedan. You also do have the Toyota Avalon, the Nissan Maxima, as well as the Chevrolet Impala and the Ford Taurus. These 20-inch alloy wheels also look pretty good. Coming to the rear of the vehicle, you have tail lights that kind of look like the Dodge Darts, and you also do have LED turn signal indicators, dual exhaust tips, and a shark fin antenna. EPA estimates, like I said, you're looking at 16 in the city and 25 on the highway. Total vehicle price is $38,365. Of course, you have all of your basic power necessities, including power door locks, power windows, and your power mirrors. Interior quality in the Charger is okay at best. You will find some soft touch materials inside of here, such as on the armrest and the mid door panel, but on the upper door panel and top of the dashboard, it's all hard touch plastic, but the graining of it feels pretty nice. And overall, I think that they need to make the Charger's interior a little bit more luxurious. It's a little Spartan feeling, a lot of black going on inside of here, but I guess that's what they have the Chrysler 300 for, if you want a more luxurious feel. Now, up here you also do have roadside assistance, as well as a sunglass container and garage home link. Down here you also find a little storage cubby with a 12-volt power outlet. And you have another little storage cubby right here. And right here it says Dodge Brothers, designed in Detroit. That's pretty cool. And you have dual cup holders in your center console with a removable tray, as well as a 12-volt power outlet down there. Center console lid is nice and soft touch, and you have nice white contrast stitching. The seats in the Charger are probably my biggest complaint about the interior. These seats are just very firm. There's not a whole lot of plushness to them. Thigh support is okay. I don't know if I would take a long road trip in this vehicle. The seats certainly need more padding. Seeing out of the Charger here is not the greatest either. Visibility, it certainly can use a lot more, especially on the front glass windows, and especially when it comes to rearward visibility. The sloping roof line back there certainly creates a pretty big blind spot back there, and there's just not a whole lot of glass area. There certainly needs to be a whole lot more glass area inside of here. Glove box too. Now, coming to your climate controls, we do have dual zone automatic climate control. You have your fan speed levels as well as your temperatures right here, and then you can control your climate functions from the touchscreen here if you would like. You can also change the different zones. Now, this is the main infotainment system in the head unit, and they have updated it for 2017 for the Charger. They've also included Android Auto and Apple CarPlay capability, and they've included faster response too, which is always welcome. Now, coming to your different audio sources, we do have all of the norm here: AM, FM, XM satellite radio. You have your external media devices, which include 2 USB ports, as well as your auxiliary input and your Bluetooth streaming audio. You also do have iTunes tagging, which is nice. And then coming to your Uconnect apps, you have your travel link, which you can view fuel prices, weather. You have a weather map, your Sirius XM subscription for your radio, and then your sports, movie listings. And then you also do have your heated seats that you could turn on or off from here. SOS Safety Connect, and then roadside assistance, and your Go. You have to activate the services though. And then you have your vehicle user guide too, and then your Send and Go, app manager, your auto dimming rear view mirror, then your radio media. I love how you could swipe like this. It's pretty cool. And you have your controls, phone. You can hook up your Bluetooth phone, have all of your contacts stored on here, of course. And then your navigation system. Now, Chrysler, Dodge, and Jeep have one of the best nav systems. You also do have live traffic, and it shows you your points of interest. You can also go around the map like this, which is pretty cool. And the graphics and the rendering are pretty nice. And I love how it gives you a Google Earth-like type view. Overall, not too shabby. And like I said, Chrysler, Dodge, and Jeep makes one of the best infotainment systems in the business. It's very simple and intuitive, and with this faster response, it's even a better head unit. Love the gauges and the whole instrument cluster with the charger here. I love the red needles, and on the left you do have your tachometer, and on the right you have your speedometer. Very bold font, which I love. In the center you will find a TFT instrument cluster with pretty good graphics and rendering. It shows all of your vehicle information, and it's controlled by the buttons on the steering wheel here. You have your digital speedometer, and it shows you your screen setup, which you could change, and any stored messages. You also do have your audio. You could change your audio source from here. Trim info, fuel economy data, vehicle info like your tire pressure monitoring system, battery voltage, oil life percentage, oil pressure, oil temperature, transmission temperature, coolant temperature, all that good stuff. You could change it from miles per hour to kilometers per hour if you like for the speedometer. But overall, it's pretty cool and easy to use. I love how it's controlled by the buttons on the steering wheel too. Now, as far as the way the Charger drives, if you're looking for muscle car performance, you'll certainly get that here with any of the available V8 engines. And it provides really good acceleration, and it's really nice to hear that rumble and grumble from any of the V8 powertrains. Now, the 8-speed automatic transmission also shifts decently. There's no problem with this transmission. It never really hesitates to shift, which is nice, unlike how you'll find in the Jeep Grand Cherokee. But overall, if you're expecting for really great performance, you'll get that in the Charger. What's not so great is the fuel economy, and that's to be expected with this type of vehicle, and you'll certainly be a regular at the gas station. But I mean, that's the price you pay for having a V8 engine, you know. But most people who get the Charger won't go for the V6, they'll get the V8. And the V6 still provides a good amount of power, and it's a little bit more fuel efficient. But I mean, if you're going to get a muscle car, just go with the V8. Why go with the V6, you know? But what's also not the greatest is also the handling. Now, muscle cars are not known for their handling capabilities, but I mean, the Charger is not too bad. I mean, you can feel for where this vehicle is trying to go and never feels sloppy behind the wheel. But if you're expecting it to be a BMW and have very athletic handling and be very agile, then that's not really the case with the Charger. It's all about the power under the hood here. All right. Now let's go ahead and shut down the Charger. Just gonna check out the rest of the vehicle. What's also not so great about driving the Charger is also the ride quality. It can be a little firm at times, especially compared to other vehicles in the class. Build quality and materials do follow through in the rear. Soft touch on the armrest and the mid door panel, but kind of hard touch plastic on the upper door panel. What I'm also sad to see is that there's no adjustable headrests. Now, sitting back here in the Charger, there's an okay amount of legroom, but when you compare it to other full-size sedans in this class, it is a little on the smaller side for sure. But what's nice is that you do have 2 USB charging ports for your friends or family and rear air vents, as well as dual map pockets and a rear center armrest with cup holders. But it certainly is a little tight back here, and the entry with getting in and out of the vehicle, it's a little hard due to the sloping roof line, and the headroom is certainly not the greatest, especially for taller passengers back here. If you're looking for a roomy full-size sedan, then I suggest going with the Toyota Avalon or maybe even the Chevrolet Impala, but the Charger certainly isn't the one here. All right. Okay amount of trunk space back here. You have your emergency trunk release. So while it may not be the most luxurious, the most fuel efficient, or the best family sedan, if you're looking for a full-size sedan that packs in a lot of fun with its muscle car performance and sporty exterior and interior design, the 2017 Dodge Charger is a great fit and deserves a worthy consideration. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.